Hello again, folks, and I'm back with another Premier League. God, my handwriting's so bad now. Premier League prediction video. So the first game is tonight. It's Hull versus Everton. Now, Hull are joint rooted to the bottom of the table with Swansea, and it's really not looking too good for them. This is Friday. It's sort of unusual to have a Friday night match in the Premiership, but I assume it must just be because of the New Year's fixtures. Everton are currently 7th, but their away form's not that great. From 9 games, 3 wins, 1 draw, 5 defeats. And funnily enough, I'm probably going to go against a lot of people here, and I'm actually going to take it for a home win. I think Hull need to start performing, and a home win, whilst it won't take them out of the relegation zone, it will give them a boost. And just being a Friday night match, I think they can pull something off. So for the first game, Hull against Everton, home win. So the next game is tomorrow. It's Burnley versus Sunderland. Burnley's home form. It's basically what's keeping them out of the relegation zone. Burnley's home form, I say it every week whenever they're at home, there's only Chelsea, Liverpool and Arsenal. Okay, and Spurs. Okay, that's what the stat was. Only Chelsea and Spurs have won more home games this season than Burnley. They've got 6 wins, 1 draw and 3 defeats from their 10 home games. And Sunderland's away form is pretty shocking. They've got 1 win, 1 draw and 7 defeats. So Burnley, as regards the Premier League, they're small fry. I think Sunderland might be able to nick something from this. I think that'll be a draw. Next up, we have Leicester. Big game here. Every week I need to check how do you spell Leicester. I don't know why I can't just remember. We have Leicester versus West Ham. Leicester's season is, I think the technical term is piss poor after what they had last year. Their home form's okay. It's it's sort of like a mid-table home form. Just their away form's the reason why they're so low down. Their home form's 4 wins, 3 draws, 2 defeats. So kind of average. West Ham's away form is 2 wins, 2 draws, 5 defeats, and conceding plenty of goals as well. I don't think Vardy's back for this game yet. He's still on his 3-game suspension. I think Leicester will win this. It's a game they need to win, because if they don't, then the teams below them will be getting really close, and the teams above them will be pulling away. West Ham have been improved of late. They had a very bad start to the season. So I think I'll go for a home win, but I think it'll be a tight match. Okay, next up we have Man United versus Middlesbrough. So Man United are in good form. They've won 5 or 6 matches in a row now. They're still in 6th. It just seems to be a steady 6th place for them. They're pulled away from the chasing pack. Everton's a good 7 points behind and a worse goal difference, so say 8 points behind. They're 4 points off the playoff places when we talk about Champions League places, and you would expect them at home to the likes of Middlesbrough to be an easy win, but they have drawn too many games at home this season. They've drawn 4 out of their 9 home games. Middlesbrough, they've played 9 away games, only scored 7, but they've only conceded 10, so they do keep it tight. But I think Manchester United will just be in too good a run of form, so I think this will be a home win. Next up we have Southampton versus West Brom. And Southampton are having a tough time of it this season. As I say, they're just in that wee mid-table league. They're currently 8th. It's pretty tight there. You've got Everton 26, Southampton 24, then it's 23, 22, 22, 21, 21. So it's very tight in there. But in their 18 games this season, they've won 6, drew 6 and lost 6. So sort of bang average. Their home form, it's okay. They're not scoring a lot of goals. They've got 9 games at home, 9 for, 9 against. West Brom, they're doing okay as well. They're one spot beneath them. Keeping it tight. They had an unlucky defeat, I think, last week against Man United. I'm going to go for a draw, just to continue Southampton's average season. And I think West Brom would take that so well. So next up we have Swansea versus Bournemouth. So Swansea, after last week's game, sacked Bob Bradley, and this is the first video that I've actually remembered his name properly, and of course now he's gone. So as of now, last week I was talking about Crystal Palace and said they probably wouldn't have a manager in time, but they did. But I don't think Swansea will have a manager in for tomorrow. So they're currently joint bottom. Their record this season is 3 wins, 3 draws, 12 defeats, and 2 of those wins were at home. So their home form's, well, they're second, they're joint bottom, their home form's poor. 2 wins, 2 draws, 5 defeats. Bournemouth are 12th, but they have a pretty terrible away record. They're like Burnley, where their home form is what's keeping them out of the relegation trouble for now. If that home form changes later on this season, they could be dragged back into it. Burnley's away form is 1 win, 2 draws, 6 defeats, and they've conceded a lot of goals. So I think even though they won't have a manager, and they still have good players, they're just not performing. Well, I say good, they're not great obviously, but they're good. I think they might want to perform for a new manager, or to show off for any prospective new manager. So with the turbulent week that Swansea's had, I'll go for a home win. Not picking any aways here, don't know. Okay, next up we have the evening match tomorrow. Big top of the table clash. We have Liverpool versus Man City. Liverpool are second, Man City are third. Liverpool's home form has been very good this season. They've won 6, drawn 2, lost none, with a plus 18 goal difference, which is very good. Only Chelsea have a better home goal difference. In fact, only Chelsea have a better goal difference at all. Man City's away form, it's pretty damn good as well. They've got 7 wins, 2 defeats. with 22 goals scored away from home. Tomorrow could be one of those 4-3 Liverpool-Newcastle classic sort of matches, lots and lots of goals. Guardiola is not a defensive manager. City are conceding plenty of goals. So are Liverpool. In 18 games, Liverpool conceded 21, and in 18 games, Man City have conceded 20. I'm going to guess both of that's going to change tomorrow. I'm going to go with my heart, and I'm going to go for a home win, and the score will be 9-8. And then we come on to Sunday's matches. We have me, pink, purple and blue. I appear to have left out a match. I wondered where Chelsea were. Let's just go back up here a second. Sorry. We have Chelsea versus Stoke. I don't know how I managed to miss that. But basically, I think that's a pretty easy decision there. Chelsea's on their, 12th win in a row. They're top of the table, 6 points clear. Playing with a lot of confidence, playing really well. Stoke are 13th. Sort of bang average really. Their away form is 2-3-4. With a -6 goal difference. They got a thumping last week there, or start of the week there, away to Liverpool. They actually have, they're in that wee bunch that I was saying there of 24, 23, 22, 22, 21, 21. So they're in that 21 bunch there. But I don't think it's going to be looking good for them. I'll go for a Chelsea home win. So who did I say I was going to go on? Next up at the Sunday game is Watford versus Spurs. Spurs had a good win. This is sort of a London derby match here. Spurs had a good win the other night there. Oh, okay, I've just seen the run of fixtures. This could be a long video. I think I might do 2 sections in one go, because there's a lot of games coming up over the New Year period. Okay, Watford versus Spurs. Watford are currently bang on mid-table, or 10th. 6 wins, 4 draws, 8 defeats. They've conceded a lot of goals. And Spurs are currently 5th. Their away form is okay, nothing fantastic. 3 wins, 4 draws, 2 defeats. Considering their excellent home form, it's really that's keeping them back from the top 2 or 3. Well, saying that top 3, they're only 3 points off Man City. They had a good win at the start of the week there, 4-1 away to Southampton. And I think that they'll take that confidence into the next game. And I think they'll beat Spurs. Sorry, they'll beat West Ham. So go for an away win. And then next up on Sunday we have Arsenal versus Crystal Palace. Another London derby. So sort of a clash in footballing cultures, footballing styles. Wenger versus Allardyce. Arsenal got back to winning ways, although they had a hard match last week against, actually West Brom. They beat 1-0 last week, or started this week. It's all very confusing this Christmas period. So their home form is very good. 6 wins, 2 draws, 1 defeat, and scoring plenty of goals. They're scoring an average 2 goals a game. Crystal Palace are currently they're 4th bottom. They're 2 points off the relegation zone. For a team that's 4th bottom, they've only got a -3 goal difference away from home, which is mostly because they've actually taken away Liverpool, Man City and Arsenal, and Crystal Palace have scored the most away goals this season. It's actually pretty impressive how many away goals they've scored. In 9 games away from home, they've scored 17 goals, which is more than they've scored at home. I just don't think they'll be good enough to get anything off Arsenal. Arsenal need to push on, and considering that Liverpool play Man City, if Arsenal win, they can go above one of them. You know, so I think that's the incentive that Arsenal need. So I think it'll be a home win. Okay, I was going to do just one run of fixtures, but then I see that that's Sunday. But then on Monday there's another whole run of fixtures, and I don't really have time to make different videos again. So what we'll do is, that's the first run of 10 fixtures. So what we'll do next is just come along to Monday's games. So we have Middlesbrough Then see the problem here, Middlesbrough against Leicester. The problem here is some team could in these matches win 16-0, and then they'll have great confidence going into the next game, and I won't know that. But we'll work around it anyway. Middlesbrough's home form, it's okay. It's 3 wins, 1 draw, 5 defeats, only a -1 goal difference. So in 9 games at home, they've only scored 9 and conceded 10. Leicester's away form is the reason why they're down so low. They've got two draws from 9 games. I think maybe at this stage, by that game, Vardy could be back, and I think this could be another tough game for Leicester, but I think they'll scrap out a draw. So next up we have Everton versus Southampton. So it's Koeman versus his old team, who he left to take over Everton from. Everton's home form is not bad. 4 wins, 4 draws, 1 defeat, same as Man United. In 9 home games, they've only conceded 7 goals, but they've only scored 12. Southampton, who are currently 8th, their away form, it's okay. It's not great. 2 wins, 3 draws, 4 defeats. I think with Koeman taking on his old team, he'll know a lot more about them. So I think Everton's home form is just going to be too good for Southampton's away form. So we'll go for a home win. Next up we have Man City versus Burnley. I suppose this all depends, well it doesn't really, I suppose it's sort of lucky for Man City. I was going to say this could all depend upon how confident they are after the Liverpool game. But Man City's home form's pretty good. It's not fantastic for a team managed by Guardiola. Their home form's 5 wins, 3 draws, 1 defeat. Aguero should be back from injury, so I think he's back for the Liverpool match tomorrow. So Man City's home form's good. Burnley's away form's terrible. In 8 games they've got 1 point, and they've got a -16 goal difference. So I think the likes of Burnley playing against a team managed by Guardiola, I think this will be a very comfortable home win. Next up we have Sunderland versus Liverpool. My dad's team versus my team. Liverpool have a pretty good record over the years against Sunderland, and Sunderland's home form, it's okay. It's like they've got 3 wins, 1 draw and 5 defeats. conceded 15 goals at home in 9 games. But Liverpool's away form, played 10 games away from home, scored 20 goals, 6 wins, 2 draws, 2 defeats. I think it was very obvious to say, considering Chelsea keep winning every game, Liverpool need to do the same. So I suppose this all depends upon what Liverpool's confidence is like after the Man City game. I think Klopp will get the team firing, and I think Liverpool will win. Next up we have West Brom versus Hull. So, as I say, West Brom are currently mid-table. The home form's not bad. They're scoring plenty of goals. They've got 16 goals in 9 home games. Hull, as I say, are bottom. They probably, well, I took them to win tonight, so by this stage they probably won't be bottom by then, but still, I think their away form is piss poor. In 9 away games they've only scored 5 goals and conceded 21, so it's pretty shocking. They're conceding almost 3 goals a game, or over 2 anyway. And West Brom's home form, they're scoring plenty of goals, so I think this will be a crunchable 2-0, 3-1 sort of win for West Brom. So I'll go for a home win. Next up we have one of the traditional big games, fairly big games, West Ham versus Man United. So West Ham's home form, West Ham are currently 11th. As I said earlier, they're doing better now than they were at the start of the season. Maybe they're getting more used to the Olympic Stadium, or the London Stadium, whatever you want to call it. They've still got they must have got some pretty big tankings at home at the start of the season, because from 4 wins, 2 draws, 3 defeats, they've got a -5 home goal difference. Only really Hull and Swansea have a worse home goal difference than West Ham. So Man United's away form is not bad. It's 5 wins, 2 draws, 2 defeats. They're not scoring a whole lot, but I'm guessing if they do score, it'll probably be Ibrahimovic. In 9 away games, they only scored 13 goals. They've only conceded 11. I think I'll go for a draw here. Probably a score draw, a 1-1. Next up, then on the Tuesday, we have Bournemouth versus Arsenal. First thing that pops into my head is, will Wilshere be allowed to play against Arsenal? Wilshere is on loan from Arsenal to Bournemouth. So Bournemouth's home form is pretty good. 5 wins, 1 draw, 3 defeats. In those 9 games, they've scored 16. Arsenal's away form is pretty similar. 5 wins, 2 draws, 2 defeats. I think this could be not quite a banana skin for Arsenal, but I don't think Bournemouth will win, but I think it'll be one of those tight draws where, I say tight, where Arsenal dominate the position but just can't score goals. So I will go for a draw there as well. Next up we have, where am I? Crystal Palace versus Swansea. 2 teams who have recently changed manager. So Crystal Palace are currently, I'd say, 1 point above the relegation zone. 2 points, but 1 place above the relegation zone. Their home form is, I can't say the word I was going to say there. Well, I can. Okay. Crystal Palace home form is shite. They've got 2 wins, 1 draw, and 6 defeats. must have had a couple of big wins because their goal difference at home is only -1, considering they've lost 6 home games. Swansea's away form is shiter. 1 win, 1 draw, 7 defeats. You just wonder, will the confidence of new manager, I'm guessing they might have a new manager by then, but this is what, Friday, that fixtures Tuesday, they might have a new manager by that stage. I think this will be tight, but it'll be Allardyce's first home game in charge, and there'll be a chance for them to maybe move up 1 or 2 places depending upon how other results go. So I'll go for a home win. Next up we have Stoke versus Watford. That's bang average games. Stoke versus Watford. So Stoke's home form, bang average, 3 wins, 3 draws, 3 defeats, -2 goal difference. So 9 games, they only scored 11 at home. Watford's away form, 2 wins, 2 draws, 5 defeats, but with a -8 goal difference, -9 goal difference. So on 9 games away from home, a -9 goal difference. So they tend to, be 1 goal behind after a match. That's how maths works. Anyway, so I think this will be a not tight. There's not too many big games on. In fact, out of all the ones there, say West Ham, Man United is probably the biggest. But I think Stoke might just be too good for Watford, so I'll go for another home win. So next up we have, there we go, we've got 1 big game. So then on the Wednesday night we have Tottenham versus Chelsea, and this will be the record-breaking game, I believe. If Chelsea beat Stoke, they'll have 13 wins in a row, and no team in the Premier League's ever had 14 wins in a row before, and they're away to Spurs. So by this stage it'll be 7 wins, 2 draws at home for Spurs versus 7 wins, 1 draw and 1 defeat away from home for Chelsea. That's going to be a pretty tight, it could be tight, it could be a pretty big game. Spurs are playing well at home under Pochettino. Conte has Chelsea well drilled. They played earlier in the season, wasn't it? I think it was Spurs who conceded. Chelsea hadn't conceded a goal for like 6 or 7 games. Spurs were the first team to break that duck. So I'm pretty sure I can say Chelsea won that game 2-1 from memory. But with Spurs home fans and their fantastic home record this season, I think I'm going to go out on a limb here. I'm going to say that they're going to stop Chelsea winning, and they're going to make sure they don't beat the record, and it's going to be a draw, probably a score draw, and a fantastic game. So there we are, a double dunt of predictions this week, because there's so many games playing. This is the 30th, so there's Premier League football on tonight, tomorrow night, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then we have a break, I'm guessing, for the FA Cup. So there we go, that's all for now. Cheery bye.